Rubbin and Racin Motorsports brings you here to the Texas Motor Speedway for the main NASCAR series. As you watch these cars make their laps, we have 8 minutes remaining, 8.5 minutes remaining in this practice session as the cars make their way around the track. On the board, we have the 68 of David Alvarez with a 28.757. And second, we have Kurt Scott in the 15 with a 29.164. And third, we have the 88 of Rob Evans with a 29.334. And in fourth place, we have Sean Fay with a 29.424 in the 24 car. And we have a car going through the grass and just clipped through that wall. Awesome. And the 24 is about to hit the wall here. Very interesting start off to this race. We'll take a short break as I go get the phone out, so stick around. Sorry about that, folks. Unless we get everything together here. Well, I guess it's time to look at some of these cars as they make their way onto the track. We have Sean Fay here, the creator and owner of Rubbin and Racing Motorsports in the 24 Drive Dan Hunger Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 as he makes his way onto the backstretch. Very snazzy looking car there. Hold on. Alright, again, I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Rob Evans in the 88. He finished 5th in yesterday's NASCAR Classic Cup Series race. He is in the 88 nationwide car, running for Chance 3 Motorsports. As you see him head down the backstretch here at Texas Motor Speedway. Pull up the R&R sheet here. So I hope everybody's having a good Saturday evening as we are about to watch, what is it, the professionalism here, everybody. The Duck Commander 150, Texas Motor Speedway. This will be a 30% distance race. Should be a fun one. Looking at the main NASCAR Series points standings, first we have Edwin Justice, who will not be racing this weekend because of a yep. Alright, so Edwin Justice will not be racing this weekend because of a penalty. As you can see, David Alvarez moving down onto the backstretch here in the 68 Coca-Cola Camaro. And we have Corey Williams in second place in the point standings. Edwin Justice with 190 points. Corey Williams with 170. Third place we have Sean Fay with 165 points. Rob Evans with 160 points, and Kurt Scott in 5th with 155 points. On this race, we have David Alvarez running, so he will be collecting points here today. And so here we are. We have 3 minutes 30 seconds remaining in practice here. We have Travis Rowland, who joined in here, who should probably be one of the commentators for today, but should be good. Rob Evans here, about to spin out, going through, what was that, turn 3? Or turn 2, sorry. Heading into that very snazzy 88 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. And there he goes spinning out. Possibly intentional, who knows. I do want to remind everybody that at this same time next week we will be having the Racin 140 at Auto Club Speedway, 35% distance. Later on tonight we will be having the Supreme All Dirt Slugfest at Accord for the Bass Pro Shops 125 with a 60% distance. And then tomorrow we will be having the Keystone Light Super Truck Series at Daytona Rising for the Exalta Coating Paints 300 with a distance of 45%. As we're getting near to wrapping up this practice session, right now it is David Alvarez on the point.
User joined your channel.
Got a car. Yep, Rob Evans like spinning out here. And I believe that he is the only one on the track right now, so we'll keep our cameras focused on him right now.
User disconnected from your channel.
88 is going down pit road now. Looks like everybody's going away. Not exactly sure why, but
user joined your channel.
Well, here's Texas Motor Speedway, folks. We're looking for the 2 pit lane cameras. This is the first one that is showing the exit of the pit going into turn 1. This is a track similar to that of Atlanta or Charlotte. It is a quad oval, and I think that it is 1.5 miles per hour. It's probably a little more or less with that. As you can see, we got a pretty good crowd on hand for even practice. As you can see in the stands. It should be clear right now. Yes, clear, 84 degrees with a southeast wind at 3 miles per hour average. Let's look at the chat here. So, well, all right, we're getting ready to go into qualifying here, and that's when you'll have to turn your attention up here to the top left of your screen, so that you'll be able to see all the times rolling. Unfortunately, NASCAR Racing 2003 was made in, of course, 2003, so we do not necessarily have any the technology available to watch the cars as they make their own qualifying runs. So that is kind of an unfortunate aspect of this game, but at least you'll be able to see the lap times come in as they are run. Well, for those tuning in, you are watching the Duck Commander 150 here at R&R Motorsports at Texas Motor Speedway for the main NASCAR series. And I think that we have a car out on track now. Let's see. Yeah, that is Rob Evans.
What?
And I think that's one of our commentators joining in.
It took way too long to get that fixed.
Well, there's Travis Rowland here to be the other commentator for today. How are you doing, Travis?
I'm doing pretty good. I forgot the race was at 6, so it's kind of late.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Professionalism at its finest here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Well, right now we have 20 seconds of practice remaining, so you pretty much got here just in time.
Oh, boy.
I see that you are in the game, so that's good.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Well, Travis, did you have any chance to go out there and drive it yourself?
I have, but not today. And it's odd how the track runs now with the new configuration. Now it's more comparable to, let's say, Darlington or Gateway rather than like Charlotte or Atlanta. Yeah, I was like, I didn't want to say Texas, but the reason being is because now you have to set up the car for two different sides of the track. You have to make sure you have the acceleration off turn 2, but you need to have the top speed in 3 and 4. So it's essentially like how Darlington works, where you want to be full or close to full throttle in 1 and 2, and then you have to get the acceleration off 3 and 4. So it's definitely a huge setup game here, but yeah, it's probably going to be an interesting race with the new configuration.
Indeed, and we're here with qualifying. You want to keep your attention to the top left of your screen where the scoreboard is, and you'll be able to see the times come in as they are run. We'll see who will be sitting on the pole, unless everybody is not wanting to qualify today, which could be an option. And it looks like we have Dale Hopkins here in the 4 car, so we might be seeing some lap times from him, possibly. But right now it is Sean Fay and the 24 with a 28.961. That's a really good qualifying time. That's about, what would that be? Probably about 6 or 7 tenths faster than the first lap time for 68 of David Alvarez. And he just made it even better with a 28.867. The 68 did improve his lap time there, but not enough to get up on top with the 24. So it looks like today the 24 of Sean Fay will be your pole sitter for the Duck Commander 150 here at Texas Motor Speedway. Alright, we're almost done with this qualifying session, and once we're done with that, we will be moving into pre-race ceremonies and then into the actual race. And again, we want to thank you for joining us today here on Twitch, Rubbin and Racin Motorsports, here for the main NASCAR series at Texas Motor Speedway. Hope you all are enjoying it so far, but the action has only begun, as we're about ready to get this race underway. Look at the chat here, and just people casually making some conversation here. And we are 3 seconds away from the end of the qualifying session. Might not just jump into happy hour immediately, but we'll see. And here we go. We are in happy hour. This is time for the pre-race ceremonies. And so now we will throw it over to the infield to bring you the pre-race ceremonies here at Texas Motor Speedway.
And now, for the invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we enjoy today's race, we are also thoughtful of those who have experienced tragedy within the last few weeks and months. We are mindful of the fractures that seek to divide our society. So we ask your help that we would love fully and live compassionately. Thank you for the teams racing today, for those who are serving here today, for our military around the world, and the first responders here at home. And most of all, we thank you for your peace and presence that is with us. In Christ's name, amen.
And now, for the singing of our nation's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
So a great rendition of the national anthem has been sung. We have our invocation and we're ready to get settled for this race here, the Duck Commander 150 here at Texas Motor Speedway for the main NASCAR series, Rubbin and Racin Motorsports. So it's about 1 minute before this happy hour is over. Again, we would like to thank you for joining us here on Twitch for this race here at Texas Motor Speedway. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far. And it's pretty much a waiting game from here on. We hope all the drivers have a nice clean race today and we get to see some exciting action here on the track. It looks like it will be the 24 of Sean Fay, your pole sitter for today. And once we'll hit the track here for the race, we'll go over the temperature, we'll look over all the conditions on the track, and we'll look at the starting grid before we get this race started. Alright, so we got 15 seconds remaining in this session, and let's look at the race chat here. We got just a lot of people talking here. Let's see, yep. Why do I even chat? Cool. But anyways, so 13, 12, 11, 10 seconds remaining, and we'll be switched over to the race here shortly. So we'll be looking at the event info here once this switches over to the race, as the session is complete, and we're about to get over now. Alright, so the start sequence is in 56 seconds. It is clear weather, 77 degrees out, with a southwest wind, west wind now at 3 miles per hour. The race length is 101 laps, and yellow flags and damage, of course, are the usual. And so we're going to look at the starting grid here for this race. Sean Fay will start them off with a 28.867 in the first position, followed by David Alvarez in the 68, Rob Evans in third place, and the rest is to be found out here shortly. Let's go back up onto the track here, as we're about to get the command here in just a hot second. Let's look here at these cars. It looks like the 15 will be back there. And here we go. We're about to get the most famous words in motorsports here to start it off here at Texas.
Drivers, start your engines!
The cars start to roll off to get this race started. The pace car leads them down through the turns, and they will make one pace lap before they get the green. Sean Fay, your pole sitter for today, leading them down. And it looks like we will have a 4-car field here for today. Kurt Scott there, we don't have his scheme on file. Please ignore everything that is on his car. That is disgusting. But we got the 15 here who will be starting in 4th. Looks like the number 4 did not grid. So it's a 4-car race today. Sorry for my allergies. A little bit of congestion has been going around because of the pollen. Very late start to spring around where I'm at, so it's been hard. But here we go. Let's see how this all works out. We'll see how Sean conducts himself through this. And we are about to get the second, arguably the second most famous words in motorsports. Let's start over.
Got rolling off.
Tonight, it's boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go racing on for all you mothers!
Off of turn 4 to complete lap 1.
User was moved out of your channel.
The 88 just got into the wall there, coming off of 4 just a bit, but he rebounds. He's back in the 4th position. Kurt Scott moves up into 3rd, and Sean Fay moves back to 2nd as David Alvarez takes over the lead in the 68. Coming off of turn number 4 here to complete lap 2. The 24 is falling back just a bit. Kurt Scott keeping his distance from him. But it is David Alvarez taking the early lead here, just on lap 2. 24 got a little high off of that corner, and he's going to fall back to 3rd. It looks like we'll go on board with him. Off of corner number 4 is Kurt Scott moving up into the 2nd place in the 15. But David Alvarez extends his lead by over a second now, probably a second and a half.
Yeah,
the 24 pulls up pretty fast on the 24.
I don't know what happened.
It looks like we got our commentator back here, Travis.
Yeah, that was background noise, so I had to kind of stay muted. My bad.
Oh no, it's fine. But yeah, it looks like it's a pretty safe start, I would say. Everybody keeping their distance from everybody. And that's good to see starting off. Everyone trying to feel their cars out right now. David takes the early lead in the 68 Coca-Cola. What would that be? Camaro? Yeah. Looks like it's going to be an all Chevy field. As Rob Evans moves up into 3rd place, he's looking to take 2nd away from the 15. Clipped the white line there just a bit, didn't he?
He's the apron finder, apparently. This league, you know how to give him great for that today.
He was the apron finder yesterday too in the NASCAR Classic Cup Series. If anybody saw that,
especially Daytona too. That first race.
Yeah, unfortunately. As we look at this 3-car pack here, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. David has extended his lead over 3 seconds now, and the 88's trying to make a run on the outside. He'll move down to the inside and try to move on there. Seems like the 88 really has to dig into that corner to make it stick. And there he goes into the wall. Hard hit for the 88 there as he really clipped the apron.
Ooh, the right side is not looking too good.
Right side is caved in on the 88 Chevrolet. And that will definitely cost him some ground. As Sean looks to the inside of Kurt Scott, looking to take over 2nd place. Oh, and Kurt's spinning into the wall. Almost flipped over. Wow, and the caution will fly. David will race back to the line. As he comes
He was
off
sitting
4.
good there for a while, but now it's gonna bunch everyone back up again.
So the caution waves. Sean Fay, 2nd. Rob Evans, 3rd. Well, okay, we're 9 laps into this race, and we have our first caution. Kurt Scott spinning, and I think it was turn 2. Let's take a look at what happened.
From his radio, it said he left rear tire went down, and Sean just spun coming to the pace car. I think he shot that a little too hard, and he just went around on him.
Let's look at Kurt Scott's wreck here, slow motion. Yeah, you just lost it, and you said that he had a right.
Yeah, according to his radio, his left rear tire went out.
Left rear, okay. And it looked like he was about to flip over there. I'm not exactly sure if that was just a connection issue or he actually was just about to flip over.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it was just the way he caught the wall.
Could be something to do with under the hood as well. And you said that the 24 almost
Yeah,
spun
he
out,
spun
right?
checking up for the pace car in 3 and 4.
See if we can find out what happened there.
Oh, I think he got past the line. He missed his stall a little bit, trying to get in after David.
So
Oh, he's having a real tough time.
Look here at the 24. He moves up.
Sean's just gonna skip the pit, I believe.
Looks
That
like
is
when the
big
24
trouble
was
on pit
trying.
road for the 24 Sean Fay car.
Looked like when Sean was trying to catch up to the pace car, he was getting a little too high, and he tried to jerk it to the left, and it just spun out on him. But a pretty tough start for the 24. I think the 68 has already made his way off of pit road. Yes, he
Yeah,
has.
Sean had a real tough time getting into that stall.
But he comes off 2nd from the pits.
Yeah, thank God I was under caution.
Oh yeah, definitely, and that it should be a pretty good break for Rob Evans. Looks like he still has some damage on the right side, but maybe it'll sort itself out as the race progresses. But a tough start for Rob as well. Kurt Scott is off now. Again, don't have his paint scheme, so disregard whatever is on that car. But he is definitely in the 15. Oh my goodness. Sean, he jumped. Sean really just jumped that. Went flying by the 68. I thought he was going to run right into the back of him.
Yeah, I thought he would hit the wall. So when he came around, he got in the brake, it pointed towards the wall.
And I like how I just noticed now that the fence lights up when there's a caution.
Yeah, that's like the new Texas thing. It's pretty cool that they added that to the track.
It's very interesting. I didn't even know that NR could do that. Oh, and he's spinning out now. He's into the tire barriers down there. I don't know what exactly happened there.
I think that may be an AFK because he's not moving. Yeah, I'm suspecting that was an AFK.
Nothing being said in the race chat right now, so.
That shouldn't have damaged the car too bad.
That didn't look like he hit it too hard. Let's look at what happened.
Yeah, but those tires can still rip you apart no matter how hard you hit it.
Let's see if he hit any hard.
No, the hood looks about the same elevation as the other guys out here.
Well, he transitioned onto the flat, and the car just lost it. Yeah. And it didn't look like a terribly hard hit, so it should be fine.
Yeah, he should be good for the most part.
It's just, if he stays AFK for too long, he'll definitely be going a few laps down.
Yeah, but wait, we don't have race control. Did he give me boss?
I would imagine he would be boss, because he...
Yeah, so he's going to have to end up giving his own lap back.
Okay, yeah. David Alvarez on the point. We have the 88 of Rob Evans in 2nd place. Kurt Scott 3rd as they make their laps around. And him being on the apron like that could possibly caution a little bit longer. Oh, it looks like the lights are all on the pace car anyways. 1 to go until
So I don't know
green
if that is
hit.
going to trigger the pace car or not.
Oh no, but it's back out now. That's what I was wondering, because him being down on the apron like that could still cause it.
Yeah, I think it may have just thrown it out again.
Could be because of him being down there, or just somebody else who has race
So that
control.
means it wasn't an AFK issue. I don't know what that was.
Sean Fay is yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, he threw the flag. All right.
Well, we're under caution here at Texas Motor Speedway. David Alvarez still your leader. As So the 24 is still down there. Still not exactly sure what's going on, but we will probably see here in the upcoming laps. Switching off to another driver, Rob Evans, who hit the wall coming off of 4 after clipping the apron. It was coming off of 2 actually. He hit the wall on the right side pretty hard. Looks like that the damage is well okay now, but there is still some damage on the right side, so that might be a concern later on down the line. We'll see on the restart how his car performs. Let's see if anything was resolved with that, because he definitely was off the pace when they were racing. Kurt Scott in 3rd. Kurt Scott was actually having a pretty good battle with Sean up until he spun out, and apparently a left rear on that car. So that might be something to look out for the rest of the day. Looks like he might have some damage. He did have some damage on the back. Looks like all that was resolved in the pits, so everything should be good then. What happened here? Rob Evans just ran into the 24 down on the
Got into the
side.
24. EO, that is.
And he's still getting into the 24. He's trying to get off now. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened
what was
there.
that about? Hold on.
Let's take a look at what happened.
That didn't make much sense.
I don't know. That doesn't look... I don't know. Was that intentional or what?
I don't know, maybe that the only reason for that, maybe if Sean lost a reverse gear or something, and he needed Rob to get him going again, or... Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Looking at the race shot, nobody's saying anything about it, so I really have no idea what that was all about. Well, anyways, the one to go is out, and we're about to get the restart here as the pace car veers off, and Sean is still down on the inside. I guess they'll have to watch out for that white line, because I think he's right up against it. But here we go into the restart zone, and then the green flag is back out here at Texas Motor Speedway. And David Alvarez leads them down. The 15 already making a move on the 88 of Rob Evans. Goes down there. They make their way around the 24 just fine. Looks like everybody will be okay there in turn 2. And I think the 88 hit the wall again. It looked pretty close, but I'm not sure. Kurt Scott moves up into the 2nd position, trailing now the 68. As David Alvarez keeps his lead going on into lap 15. We have 101 laps here, and it'll probably be another fuel strategy race like we had yesterday at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So that will definitely be interesting to see at the end. See who comes out on top because of it. It looks like Rob Evans is a little bit slower than these guys up here. Right now, Kurt runs a 193 going into the turn. He ran a 190, so he's about 3 miles an hour slower than the cars up in front. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but maybe he needs some further adjustments, so we could see throughout the day maybe if he could get his way back up there. But it is David Alvarez in the 68 Coca-Cola Chevrolet, still leading as he comes down towards the line to complete lap 16. Still not exactly sure why he's down there, but hope that everything's fine.
I don't know, because if he already threw the caution, it means he shouldn't be AFK. But I don't know what's going on there.
Could be adjusting something. Maybe something's wrong with his computer.
Could be.
Maybe they was just called for something.
Yeah, I would assume it'd be called, because if his game tabbed out, the whole server would go down.
Well, I don't think it's an internet issue at all, but it's probably just something to do with, like, maybe he's getting messaged.
Probably.
You never
It just
mind
goes to show how interrupted you can get in one of these races. You never get a good moment yourself.
Yeah. Well, need to remind everybody, he is the owner and leader of R&R. He could be taking care of some business right now. But tough,
Oh, good
tough
move
start
by
for
the-
him
he
as
got
he
a
goes
fast
7
time.
laps down, no, 8 laps down.
Yeah, I think Kurt's having some car problems.
Yeah, can't change the tape, and he is overheating. That's unfortunate. He goes into the 3rd position as Rob Evans makes his move on him. Coming off of turn 4, Rob into 2nd place.
I'd watch the engine of that 15 car and might go soon. We gotta get another caution that might save Sean if he ends up coming back.
And if Sean comes back, and if it was an AFK situation, he might be given his laps back like we saw with Zach Stecker yesterday in the NASCAR Classic Cup Series race where he went like 30 laps down, gave all but 1 back so that the game wouldn't glitch out, and he made it up there, and he was the only car other than the leader, which was Travis Rowland, to be on the lead lap at the end of that race. So there is still a chance for Sean. Just unfortunate start, and it's an aggravating start, I would imagine. For him. So Kurt Scott, pretty conservative right now, just trying to make sure that his engine doesn't overheat right now. He is about, looks like about 6.5 seconds back from the leader. With Rob Evans just a second ahead of him. So David Alvarez sitting pretty high and dry right now in the lead position. I'm pretty sure that this is about the most comfortable position he can find himself in. Just being all by himself on the track, just hitting his marks, making good laps here. Because he seems to be the only car right now not having any trouble. Well, he got a little high coming off of 2 and into the wall. I guess I jinxed him there. Whoopsies. And he got up into the wall there. Dinged up his right side. Yeah, it did cave in a little bit of it, but it might not have been that hard of a hit. Let's take a look back and see what happened. This is from TV too. Looks like he got a little bit out of the groove and the car just sailed up into the wall. That might have been a hard hit, actually. It's hard to tell from the connection, but could have been a hard hit there, but it doesn't look like the car is that badly hurt. He is still keeping his distance over everybody. At least it looks like it as he comes across the line. He is running 192 into the corner. That's better than the 2nd place car right now. So doesn't look like anything is wrong with it so far. So it looks like we're going to be 1 man short of the broadcast booth. So. And also, I should say, I'm Jimmy Powell, your main commentator. The one that we did have up here was Travis Rowland, who won the NCCS race yesterday, the NASCAR Classic Cup Series race yesterday. And Sean Fay, who is the owner and creator of Rubbin Racin Motorsports. He is also a commentator that you will be seeing later on tonight for the Supreme All Dirt Slugfest at Accord. And that will be probably an interesting race to watch. Probably one of the most interesting races that we had last week was at New Egypt for the dirt, where we had those 2 Bill Elliott moments happen, and somehow Rob Evans was able to take the win away with that. We'll see if he can make magic happen twice. Right now, David Alvarez out in front. Still pretty much the same story for 2nd and 3rd place. Oh, and Kurt Scott, something happened to his car. I'm not sure if that brought out any sort of caution. I cannot tell. At least it doesn't look like it so far. No, the car's still there, so we'll see. Let's look at what happened to Kurt Scott. Let's back it up here. Alright, so he's coming through the quad oval right now. And he's going to go into the turn. And the car just went around on him. Maybe it was that left rear again. The car spins out. He's trying to catch it. Is he going to hit the wall? Seems to be good. He saves the car. Good save on him. And he's still out on the track making laps. Unfortunately, he's probably going to be going a lap down here soon. And that will be correct. 68 of David Alvarez has it in sight. And Kurt Scott, his luck not turning out very well for him, as he had overheating issues. He spun out earlier where he dinged up the back end, and now another spin, but this time not a caution. So this is not a very good break for him. We're going to look at the camera. Front, try to keep his position. Whoa, he got a little loose. David Alvarez makes him a lap down. The first car to really go a lap down. Sean Fay still on the apron. I still don't exactly sure what's going on with him, but David Alvarez passes Kurt Scott. Uh-oh. And Kurt's spun out again. He is into the wall again. Is there a caution? No, there isn't. What happened? I don't know. It looks like he got loose and he tried to catch it. I don't know. Huh. Something definitely wrong with that 15 car as he makes his way around. David Alvarez is on the back stretch. And Rob Evans looks like if he doesn't pick up his pace right now, he might be the next car to go a lap down. And a couple laps. It is lap, I want to say 33. Yes, lap 33. As David Alvarez moves into the first turn. In a couple of laps, we'll have to worry about pit strategy here, what everybody's going to do. But so far, I would have to say that David doesn't really have to worry about what he does. I think that if he just gets 4 tires in gear, he'll be good. But, yep, David's still out in front. Everybody just making their laps as they would. Let's look high from the Goodyear helicopter as Kurt Scott makes his way around, and here comes the 88 of Rob Evans. We'll see how this turns out. It looks like he'll just let him by, and he is very much not on the pace. That was almost about 20 miles per hour difference between him and Rob. Looks like he will be coming down pit road. Oh, and both of them go down pit road. Is there a caution? No, there isn't. They're just going down pit road together. Alright, there's Rob Evans and 15 going down pit road. Looks like pit cycles are about to start. And remember that these two do have damage, or at least I think that the 88 does. And it looks like he has more damage actually, looking at it from here. And he missed his pit stall just a bit. But it looks like to me that the 88 has a little more damage on the side of that car. It would appear to be that way, and it looks like the 15 does as well. So there pretty much is not one driver out here that does not have any damage. David extends his lead even more as both of those guys go a lap down. The whole field is laps down as David Alvarez stays out. Kurt Scott is away. And the caution is out. Oh my goodness, Rob Evans. Oh my goodness, his car is completely destroyed. Oh my goodness, what happened to the 88? Oh, and Sean Fay, did he run into Sean? Oh my goodness, wait. Coming off pit road, I really hope this is not what I think it is. Oh, and it was. Oh, man. Oh my goodness, those guys flew. Oh, I completely forgot that Sean was there. Oh, man. And got clipped by the pace car as well. Oh my... Really? Oh, that's embarrassing. David Alvarez comes down pit road now. I'm sure he'll be able to see the damage that those guys endured, and he's going to have to squeeze in, I think, between those guys. So that's going to be fun. And I think he just barely got in. Yep. Wheels are in the box, so it technically works. That's probably good for the 15. He'll get a lap back here. And he won't be the leader, but he'll be close to the lead at least. Let's see if he got all of his damage fixed, and it looks like he did. So he might actually be able to contend for getting his lap back. Another lap back at least, because David is already off. I think maybe he only took right sides or something, because I know he was changing the right sides. I don't know about the left sides or fuel. Might have been a 4-tire change. I don't exactly see anything that you would have lost from that, but it's back here. Two laps short, so I guess he did get fuel. Well, this is going to be interesting. As the 15 goes down pit road now, I guess to get further adjustments. Possibly to resolve that tape issue, because he's definitely going to need that. So he was complaining earlier about how his car was overheating. And the 88 is done for today. Man, tough start for the 88. And only 37 laps in, 38 possibly. Yeah, 40, I should say. 40 of 101. Well, David Alvarez out in front as the pace car lights are still on. We're here at Texas Motor Speedway for the Duck Commander 150, the main NASCAR series. Thank you all for tuning in. As the cars head down the backstretch right now. David Alvarez is your leader, the number 68. 3 laps over the 15 of Kurt Scott, who is down pit road right now, and he's probably going to go 4 laps down here as they come across the line. Sean Fay, 27 laps down, and is still on the pits, and will probably be turning it in now once he comes around. And what a surprise that will be, since he is pretty much, we can assume at this point it's AFK. I'll look through the chat here. Let's see if he just left. So it looks like Sean's day is over as well. Sean will be getting a 4th place finish, possibly. Probably 3rd. Most likely 3rd, yeah. Comes across the line. I think the 15 will go 4 laps down now. Nope, looks like it will 3. Wait a minute, hold up. 15 is going down pit road once again. We do have 1 to go until the green. So I'm not exactly sure what that is all about. You have the 68 here playing a little bumper tag with the pace car. And we haven't seen David Alvarez in a main NASCAR Series race. He was not here at Daytona last week, so this will be his first points given, and it looks like he'll be getting 190 points at this rate. So that'll be good. All right, and Kurt Scott takes his position underneath the 68. As we're ready to get this race restarted at 42 laps when they come around. So the 15 confident that he can get his laps back. Here they come through turn 4, and we're ready to get the restart. So they come around, and the green flag is back out. We're racing once again. I also want to remind everybody that the But the Supreme All Dirt Slugfest will be happening directly after this race. Well, not directly after. We will be having a 1 hour practice. As far as I know, it's a 1 hour practice. Might be 30 minutes. We'll have to get that checked out. But it will be at a court. It will be the Bass Pro Shops 125 with a distance of 60%. And we'll be seeing that later on. We should have Rob Evans there. We might have Johnny Gardner as well. Travis Rowland will most likely be there as well. The only 3 drivers that were there last week was Rob Evans, Travis Rowland, and Cameron Reichenbach. We might be able to see all 3 of those guys out there in addition to a few others, including Kurt Scott, RJ Cherry, which RJ Cherry is not on right now. He might be later, though. We're focusing on the main NASCAR series. Next week, we will be at Auto Club Speedway for the running of the Roseanne 140, which will be a 35% distance race for the 3rd race in the schedule. Looking at your points right now, it is Edwin Justice with 190. He is not racing this week because of a penalty from the race at Daytona that they had last week. Corey Williams in 2nd place with 170. 3rd place, Sean Fay with 165. Rob Evans in 4th with 160. Kurt Scott with 155 points in 5th. And we will be adding a 6th place to that. Uh-oh, whoa. Kurt Scott got loose there, it looks like. Let's see what happened there. Got off turn 2 and just got real sideways. No matter. Gathers it back up and he's still going. And David Alvarez, he still has damage on the side, but the car's keeping up. And this is a 2-car field now. We most likely will not be having any other drivers out here. Because I think Sean's car, even though he is still AFK, it probably is not in racing shape anymore. So a 2-car battle for the end of this race, and David Alvarez is in the best position right now, 3 laps over the 15 of Kurt Scott. It's a very cool paint scheme that he has, the Coca-Cola colors, 68. Kurt Scott, I'm not exactly sure what his paint scheme is. It's probably Napa, I would assume, since his NCCS car is Napa as well. But we cannot tell because I don't have the scheme. I really don't want to go on board with that car because all that. But there he is in 2nd place, and he almost lost it there again, it looked like. That car is very unstable through 1 and 2, it looks like. Off of 4 here, moving into lap 49 at Texas Motor Speedway. We are almost halfway through this race. We will be around lap 51.5, 52. So we are halfway through this race at 7:14 p.m. We've gone through about 35 minutes of this race now. $15 is still keeping his head up high. Still 3 laps down, but he is confident that he can make all those back up. Or maybe that's not confidence. He's oh, well, I thought that was him actually responding. Point standings, yeah. Well, a 2nd place finish is definitely not that bad, considering where he is. He is last in the point standings currently. So we will have to see where he ends up after this one. David Alvarez. Whoa, he got a little sideways. I don't know if you saw that or not, but he definitely got sideways there coming through the turns. Let's look from the helicopter here high above Texas Motor Speedway. You'll be able to see all the details outside the track. As you see the stands there, the American flag pattern coming around the line, and then the Texas flag there. Going through turn 1 and 2 right there. You see the car is a little sideways. Might just be the connection, I'm not sure, but it did look like he was just a bit sideways, but he's hanging on to it. Kurt Scott, 15, still hanging strong though in second place.
Sorry about that.
And I think that would be Travis Roller, who is joining us now.
Whoa, wait.
And the 15 is almost lost it going through 3.
I don't want to sound unprofessional or anything, but what happened to half the field?
Well, alright, so for the uninitiated, and for those who joined in, what happened is that Rob Evans was coming out of the pits and did not realize that Sean was on the apron and ran pretty much 130 miles an hour into the side of the 24, and both cars flipped over, and that pretty much ended their races. But the 24 is still AFK, so he cannot take his car into the garage right now, so he is sitting 41 laps down in 4th position. But if he were to go now, he would be in 3rd.
Oh well, it seems like it's going to be like more of a fuel mileage race, I guess. When did the last pit?
The last pit was about 20 laps ago.
All right, so it should be around 66 laps for the pit window. So that means these guys are definitely going to have to make another stop, maybe whether it be for tires, but they're definitely going to need fuel.
And they're probably going to have to take another stop after that, wouldn't they?
Well, if pit windows are 66 laps, they pitted 20 laps ago. 40 laps from now would be lap 90-ish. So, yeah, they're going to either need to pit or they're going to start saving really, really hard.
I think that of all the people out here who have have any sort of like chance of this, I think the 68 is perfectly fine with saving his stuff. And maybe letting the 15 have a couple of those laps back so he can cut back and have enough for the end. Because he is 3 laps above the 15 right now. And he's still making laps. Everybody's pretty spread out right now. The 15 is on the backstretch going into turn 3, while the 68 is moving around turn 1 right now. So they're around on opposite sides of the track. Make their way around. Looking at the chat here, pretty much.
Yeah, I had to interject a little bit there.
Just a little general conversation, because this is a pretty calm race for both of them. But I think David Alvarez is with a little higher morale as he's out in the lead right now, with arguably less damage than 15. Well, probably not, because looking at the side, it is still caved in. The 15, Kurt Scott, looks like he has his damage sorted out. So, 58 of 101 laps, we are past halfway. And like Travis said, we should be seeing green flag stops come into play here as they make their way around the track. And again, I want to remind everybody that the Rubbin Racing Supreme All Dirt Slugfest will be at a record just after this race. I think they're having a 30-minute practice or an hour practice. I think it's an hour.
Yeah, I think it is an hour. According to the announcement, let me just do a double check. Yeah, it will begin at 8 with an hour of practice.
So it'll be around 9 when we'll be able to start up this race. So be sure to tune in for that, for the Bass Pro Shops 125. If we had any race like we did last week, you definitely want to tune into that one. This race is a little bit lackluster, but we could see some excitement here at the end if something spontaneous happens to David. But definitely tune into the dirt race tonight. And tomorrow you definitely want to tune into the Keystone Light Super Truck Series, as we're back at Daytona for the last time up until around July or late June for the running of the Exalta Coating Paints 300, which will be a 45% distance race. So definitely tune in for that one. That is sure to be an exciting one. I think that was the second biggest field that we had last week. For the Daytona Unrestricted Showdown, which was not for points. Tomorrow's race will be the first one for points, so that's why they're back at Daytona. And so that will be a very fun race to watch. And it looks like the 24 is off the track, and he will have a final finishing position of 4th. Rob Evans 3rd. And so now it's up to these two to sort out 1st and 2nd. And it looks like David is starting to catch up onto the 15 to bring him down to 4 laps.
Oh, apparently David's 3 laps is good, so my calculations may have not been correct. Either he's saving hard or something.
Oh, I'm sure he's saving right now. He wants to just make it on 1 pit stop. And around this time, it was about like lap 35, I think, when we saw the last pit stop. So they should be good until, if they save like this, they're probably good up until probably lap 68 or so. But it will definitely require a lot of saving. You can see he's going about 155 through the corners, just trying to save as much fuel as possible. So the 68 is going through turn 4 now, as Kurt goes through turns 1 and 2. So it looks like he's laying back just a bit. I don't think he's too concerned about lapping the 15 or anything. I think he just wants to keep that car in check in order to make it under just 1 stop. Looking at the chat here.
Yeah, I was trying to explain the point system. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it just looks like everybody's everybody's just making general comments and stuff. It's a pretty steady race here.
Yeah, it's a pretty show race considering that if David's already 3 laps to the good, there's probably not going to be another pit stop from him, so it might be either just Kurt or Kurt's not going to stop either.
So this could just all go to the end.
Assuming no mechanicals happen.
And that's the only thing that that Kurt can really hope for here at this point. But it's a 2-man battle. And 1 is losing right now, but we could see that change here soon. Oh my goodness, wait. And it looks like the 15 is really loose. Looked like he got a little sideways going into 1. Not sure about that, but he is going into 3 as David comes out at 2. David has closed up a bunch now. It looks like that he has 15 in sight. So we could be seeing Kurt go down 4 laps here in a couple of another couple of left turns here. Yeah, Kurt goes back onto the back stretch, and here comes David. Oh, David's loose. Wow, and he hangs onto it coming out of 2. Now going into 3. We'll try to be a little more careful this time around. And it looked like Kurt tagged the wall just a bit coming off 4. And you can see the side is just a bit caved in. That might be from earlier damage. Turn 1 and 2 is not his strong suit, as he is still sliding around. Almost lost it there. And David closed up once again. 3 and 4, it looks like Kurt Scott's pretty fine, but 1 and 2 is just not his day. Oh man, he got loose there coming off of 4. He's gonna really have to knock some ledge off there next if he goes into the pits. So that car is dangerously loose. He almost got onto the apron there, slid a bit, and he went all the way down to 148 coming off that turn. And David is definitely now in position to pass, going on turn 3. See by the hood there is a lot of damage inside on the side of the car, but it doesn't seem to be affecting anything. I think David is just going to wait until turn 2 here, make the move on the 15 as he gets sideways again. You can see right there, he's on the apron as well. Oh, and the 68's into the wall. Oh! Side slapped the wall coming off of 2, but his car is still moving. That could definitely mess up a lot of stuff underneath that car, as he hit pretty hard. He hit the apron, and Kurt almost lost it. What a save that was! Oh my goodness. That was a save by Kurt, but his car is still dangerously loose. We might see another caution here as he goes 4 laps down. That car got extremely loose coming off of 4. There does not seem to be a safe corner in this track for Kurt. Well, moving on into lap 73, we're just under 40 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway, and it looks like that it's David's race to lose. Behind the team trying to catch back up to try to get the lap back, but I don't think it's going to do much. 15 is just logging laps. Turns 3 and 4 right now. Next week, at 7 o'clock, we will be having the Mug Root Beer 285 at Pepsi Super Speedway for the NASCAR Classic Cup Series here at R&R, which will be a restrictor plate race, so that should be a very exciting one. That's a 50% distance race, as is every Classic Cup Series race on the schedule, except for the Pepsi 125 at Daytona Night VR, which will be 25%. And then next week after that, on Saturday, we will be having, around this time, we will be having the main NASCAR series at Auto Club for the Racin 140 as David Alvarez goes down pit road now under green. And then we'll have the Supreme Alders Slugfest after that at Springfield for the Mobile One 125. And then the day after that, on Sunday next week, we will have the Keystone Light Super Truck Series at Auto Club for the running of the California 250.
Got some good races coming up here.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially Pepsi Super Speedway. Now,
oh boy,
that's one that we'll definitely have to look out for.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one dying probably in there.
And do keep in mind, Travis here is also a driver in the NASCAR Classic Cup Series and the trucks. Oh my goodness, Kurt almost lost it. He almost lost it again, and he's good. Going into the pits, almost hits the pit wall. Can he slow down? And he barely does.
What is pit speed?
Went in about 47 there and a 45, but I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as you hits the timing line. If he was at least below 45 before the first line, then he's fine.
It looked like he was about 47 at the first line, but at this point it's pretty much apples and apples. Anything that happens, right? Anything that happens. And he is too close to that wall. It does not look like he's going to get any left sides there unless his pit crew is just a bunch of flat Stanleys.
He could probably go for it.
Nope, no left sides. And he is back 4 laps down, it looks like. David Alvarez back on the track. I think he got all that damage sorted out on the right side, and he is running pretty good. Running about 186 going into the turn. Really drives it into 3 and 4. And he's able to go off at 180. Not bad. These guys were running about 195, 196 in the beginning of the run, but everybody has damage, so they've all been knocked about 10 miles per hour, unfortunately. We're about to come up to lap 80 here. We're almost up to 30 laps to go. 32 laps to go right now. Looking at the chat here. Yeah, they're getting pretty loose. Looks like he was pitting for tires. And I don't think that was really anything to worry about, considering now he is 5 laps over 15. today's has been pretty much made for David. He was leading pretty early on, and he took the lead and didn't look back, and everybody else just kind of sorted themselves. I think that the 24, Sean Fay, might be a little bit mad right now, considering what happened earlier with Rob Evans, but and I'm sure Rob Evans is pretty upset as well. But
yeah, and it's even worse when it's out of your control. Like Sean couldn't have done anything here because he was AFK, so that was just all circumstance. So it's even worse to have it pulled away from you like that. But
oh, I'm sure, and being AFK for that long, coming back and seeing that you're not even in the race anymore, I mean, that's just gotta suck.
Yeah.
But looks like Sean will be having a 4th place finish, which is even adding more insult to injury, just because he was probably able to stay in. He probably would have been able to make up all those laps if he came back. If that accident didn't happen, he could have had a 3rd place finish at least. But unfortunately, the accident that occurred early on pretty much took those dreams away. And it looks like the 15 is about to get lapped once again. Kurt Scott is still, it didn't look like he was that loose coming off of 2, but the car still doesn't seem like it's handling right. I think at this point he's just riding around just to ride around.
Yeah. I guess he's just logging laps for his own sake, for the race's sake, because technically he's not gaining much of anything by just staying out here.
Well, I mean, really, it doesn't matter what happens to him now. The 68 could just spin him out right now, and really, all those guys could just spin out right now. I mean, I think it's pretty much guaranteed that he's gonna have a 2nd place finish today, unless something happens to the 68.
Well, I think Kurt's gonna try to fight for him.
I don't blame him. He gets a good run coming off of 4. Now this is a battle for the 68 here, and you know what?
5 minutes of excitement.
David's going to have to be really careful here not to wreck himself out. Kurt's going to try to move down here, and he clears him. 68 is clear. Oh, and he hit the wall. Oh, Kurt Scott hard into the wall coming off of 4. Really scratched up the right side there.
Oh, that was bad.
That was a hard impact. That's definitely going to mess up the car even more than it was before. And just think, he was in the pits to fix all that damage that he had earlier. And now this happens. So the right side is completely caved in on that 15. That just might be the final nail in the coffin for him. Unless he spins out. 6 laps down, and he gets sideways going into 1. But David Alvarez holds his lead. And I believe that's an average speed of 148.7 miles per hour. Wow. These cars are definitely not running as well as they did early on. Unsurprisingly, the fastest lap was David Alvarez with a 28.902, and second was Sean Fay with a 29.63. Yes, we're on lap 188. About to be lap 89. We're nearing the end of this race, which is probably a blessing in disguise for 15. I think he just wants this race to be over with, just get the check for 2nd place and be on his way for next week. And he has, oh man, he got really loose going into the turn. But he is going to be racing in the truck race tomorrow, Sunday. So he's probably going to try to redeem himself there at Daytona. And I don't think that he's running dirt tonight, is he?
I don't believe so.
Well, he is logged into the points, but I'm not sure if he's going to be racing dirt tonight, or if maybe he will.
Probably.
Hopefully we'll have more than just a 3-car field that we had last week, even though that was a very crazy race without many drivers. Which, by the way, Travis, I never actually asked you what actually happened to your car. What was up with your setup last week at New Egypt?
It was bad. That's what it was.
Well, I understand that, but like, what exactly was the issue with it?
Well, no, I was running more of a dirt kind of setup, and everyone else was running like Bristol setups with like kind of lower pressures. So they were running it like it was actually Bristol, and I was running it like some sliding sideways and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not really going for many points there. I'm just trying to,
Just
sit
the
back
race.
and do some dirt racing. So I'm not really trying to win. If I was, then I probably would have ran a Bristol setup. But
Well, the way they can do that is because if they ran it like an actual dirt race, they would just slow down. Because the only thing that NR has for material to drive on that would be close to dirt would be grass, and you'd be slowing down heavily with that. So they isn't the actual racing surface just like regular concrete?
I don't know, actually. I believe it's more of just the setup that doesn't work, because they can edit the grip in the track INI file to kind of deal
Oh
with
yeah,
that.
that makes sense. Yeah.
So it's more of the setup that actually gives you the illusion of dirt racing rather than it being an actual dirt track.
Because you could see with the cars, you could see how the cars were banked a little bit to look as though they would be actually driving on a real dirt track.
Yeah, that's the reason the N9 flipped over, is because he was running the Bristol setup, and they really stuck with the right rear. So that's why he went up and around the front.
Yeah, it looked like the left front was like hanging off the ground a little bit as it was going through the turns. So I didn't know if it was something to do with the springs in the right rear or anything like that, but
that was just the setup they were running.
that makes sense. But we'll see if Rob Evans can make magic happen twice this evening at Accord, which will be commencing around 9 o'clock tonight, so be sure to tune in for that. That should be an exciting race to watch. So here we go. We are close to the end of this. 6 laps to go this time. This comes across the line, I should say. David Alvarez pretty much has this race in the bag. Unless he wrecks out now. 15 probably not get those laps back. So what a day for David. A lot of things did not go perfectly for the 68, but here he is now, 6 laps ahead of Kurt Scott. And I don't think Kurt's really mad about this, considering he's going to get a 2nd place. Might kind of suck just running around 6 laps under, but I mean, I don't think that he's too angry about it. But probably very angering for the 88-24, Rob Evans and Sean Fay. Four to go. David Alvarez just buying his time right now. In essence, he could really just coast around this track for a little bit and he'd still be fine. I don't think he wants to show off though, because that'd be a little bit mean. So this should be the first win of Alvarez Motorsports this season, which would be a good first win for them. And you can see that he is slowing. He's just making sure he doesn't run into any walls or anything, because that's happened a couple of times throughout today. Just making sure his car is as in good of a shape as it can be as he comes around. 2 to go. I think that this will pretty much be your winner. Zach Stecker winning the Daytona Unrestricted Showdown for the Keystone Light Super Truck Series last week. last Sunday for Alvarez Motorsports. Of course, that wasn't a points race, so technically that wasn't the first Alvarez Motorsports win. The white flag is out here at Texas Motor Speedway. But here we go, the second race in the main NASCAR series. It looks like it will be going to David Alvarez. One final turn. He'll have to go through turns 3 and 4. He'll have to make this lap good. As he comes around. And off of corner number 4, it will be the 68 of David Alvarez winning at Texas Motor Speedway for the main NASCAR series. The Duck Commander 150 goes to the 68 Coca-Cola Chevrolet.
That was a good win for him.
It was a very interesting race. Very, I wouldn't really say boring, but a very spread out race.
Yeah, not really much action.
And Kurt is ready to bring it in as he takes second place. Really, this wasn't too bad of a day for Kurt Scott. I mean, looking at it in the grand scheme of things, he got a second place finish. He's still going to get second place points because of it, so I don't think that he should be too upset about it.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to finish for him.
And there's David here up in front of the flag tower. As David does his donuts. And a good race and a good finish for Alvarez Motorsports. He did not race last week, so I don't think that he'll be up in the standings too far. He'll probably be around 5th, but a good start nonetheless. And he continues.
I believe there's a way to get to victory lane, but I don't know if he can.
He just retired.
Rip.
Well, there it is, your official standings. David Alvarez takes the win here at Texas Motor Speedway. Kurt Scott takes second, 6 laps down, and Rob Evans and Sean Fay take 3rd and 4th respectively after wrecking out. Sean Fay with that very unfortunate AFK, and Rob Evans with that very unfortunate pit exit. But there it is, the final results for this race. Thank you all for coming out here to watch the main NASCAR series at Texas Motor Speedway. Upcoming at 9 o'clock, around 9 o'clock, tune in for the Supreme All Dirt Slugfest Bash Pro Shops 125 at Accord. And then tomorrow, you want to come out here at around, I think it would be 7 for the Keystone Light Super Truck Series for the Exalta Coating Paints 300. And there is Kurt Scott doing donuts for some reason. I guess he's really happy about that second place finish. But anyways, I'm Jimmy Powell, the main commentator, along with Travis Rowland here, signing off for a little bit. We'll be back here at around 9 o'clock. I'll be here with Sean Fay to bring you coverage of the Bass Pro Shops 125. We'll see you then.